can close the ark as we are seated. And you can go back to your seats. We did all that. Here we go. You know what's coming. Closing remarks, going the wrong way. Thank you very much. Oh. Oh. Oh, we're getting there. Good. Did that. Apology. Baruchim habaim. Welcome. Zeh hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. This is the day which Adonai has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Before I continue, I want to take a moment to acknowledge some very important people who are here with us today. We are so honored by your presence. Mayor Jonathan Bush, where are you? If you could just stand up, wave. Yeah, we can clap. This is not a worship service, so we can clap. The Chief of Staff from Woodbridge, Carolyn Ehrlich. We have members of MEICA, the Metuchen Edison Area Interfaith Clergy Association. We have Rabbi Rick Jacobs, the president of the URJ, the Reform Movement, the Union for Reform Judaism, who we'll hear from in a little bit. Those of you who are here from throughout the community, if you are not a member of Temple Emanu-El, would you stand up so we can thank you for being here with us? And of course, the precious members of Temple Emanu-El. With Hanukkah beginning next Sunday night, we chose this date to dedicate our new sanctuary in spiritual connection to our ancestors who dedicated the ancient temple in Jerusalem after cleansing the sacred space and celebrating the miracle of light. Hanukkah literally means dedication, and this new sanctuary is our miracle. Celebrating this miracle is what we like to call a Shehecheanu moment, a time of new and exciting beginnings as we celebrate gathering here in our new sanctuary. These past 3.5 years have been challenging time for all of us, with unexpected adjustments and delays. But, Hinenu, here we are. For the past 3.5 years, we have felt very close to Moses and the Israelites wandering in the desert, thirsting for sustenance of a permanent home in the promised land. Well, this is our promised land. This is our home where Temple Emanu-El can continue to offer a caring, welcoming, sacred community, a Jewish home that feels like family and helps people connect with one another through Jewish values and practice, where everyone is embraced with warmth and dignity, where diversity is celebrated, and all people are empowered to participate, to lead, to flourish, all inspired by the Jewish value and our core value of hachnasat orchim, exceptional hospitality. In Exodus 25, verses 8 and 9, God instructs the Israelites wandering in the wilderness, Ve'asuli mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham. Make for me a mikdash, a sanctuary, a holy place, that I may dwell among them. God doesn't say that I may dwell in it. No. God says that I may dwell among them, among the people, among us. The Torah devotes hundreds of verses to describe in meticulous detail the form and furnishings of the mikdash, assuring its magnificence and beauty worthy of God's presence. But in the end, God doesn't seek to dwell in its grandeur, but rather among the people, and I invite the children to come up once again. Get there. Talk among yourselves for a moment. To go back. It's a pleasure now to call on a long-term founding member, certainly long-term member of Temple Emanu-El, to share some proclamations with us.
I just said to the rabbi, when I first joined the temple, I didn't wear glasses, didn't need a hearing aid, and didn't limp. Thank you for being in attendance today. I'm getting a little teary to share this day in history of our spiritual home. As we tend to look forward to our 65th anniversary, personally, my long-term membership provides me with many invaluable friendships as well as memories. I served on the board for many years, and there were a lot of committee meetings and a lot of board meetings. Today, I'd like to share with you, I know the rabbi introduced Metuchen Mayor, Jonathan Bush, and First Lady, who's here, and I know that he needs to rush out to do some of his mayoral projects today. So thank you for being here, and we look forward to your proclamation. Also here is Carolyn Ehrlich, Chief of Staff for Mayor McCormick, who's brought along a lovely proclamation from his office, and that I'm sure will hang proudly in the temple. Also, we got a lovely letter. Do you want me to read it right? From Cory Booker. And I have to say, when I received it, I did have to email him, thanking him, because I know what went on when he was requested of this, and also to wish him a mazel tov on his nuptials. Actually, last week, the senator married Alexis Lewis, and the senator and Alexis exchanged vows under a chuppah with both his pastor and a rabbi to perform the ceremony. So I'm really grateful that the time was taken for us to get this letter. Dear friends, it's an honor to extend my warmest greetings and congratulations as you gather to commemorate the dedication of Temple Emanu-El. For more than 6 decades, Temple Emanu-El embodied the Yiddish word Hamish, literally meaning friendly, by being warm and welcoming environment for all. The congregation has worked tirelessly to cultivate a safe atmosphere for countless people to connect, fulfill their spiritual needs, and work toward shared vision of equality and social justice. As we mark this next chapter, Temple Emanu-El will further cement itself as a cornerstone of Jewish life and continue to thrive as a place of comfort for so many across the region. Again, congratulations, and please know that I am grateful to all of those who helped to make this project possible. I look forward to celebrating your continued success. Sincerely, Cory Booker, United States Senator. Thank you.
We have greetings from MEICA, the Metuchen Edison Area Interfaith Clergy Association, and Bishop Owens, who has been a part of our congregation forever, wasn't able to be here today.
She's here.
Up, 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 up. I didn't see him. So he's going to speak. But, however, we also have the president, the current president. Bishop Owens is a past president, but we have a current president. And those of you who are here for the Mega Interfaith service heard Reverend Na not only as a wonderful pastor and reverend, but also a beautiful singer when we sang the duet, Grateful. Oh yes, it was absolutely gorgeous. And we're gonna have our children sing it with our adults. They'll try to do as well as we did together.
Okay. Thank you. Again, my name is Suwana. I'm a pastor of Centennial United Methodist Church, your neighbor, and also the president of Metuchen and Edison Area Interfaith Clergy Association. And on behalf of Micah, I offer my deepest congregations on the dedication of your new temple. And may this place be filled with peace, vibrant traditions, and the joyful laughter of community. And may every person who enters here find belonging, blessing, and inspiration. Thank you. Congratulations.
So Reverend Dr. Ronald L. Cohen, as you probably all know, serves as senior pastor of the New Hope Baptist Church of Metuchen and has the distinct honor of pastoring the church of his youth. After serving as his first pastorate for over 12 years, he was called to his home church in 1990. Bishop Owens attended several schools and seminaries and earned his doctorate in ministry at the Master's Divinity School in Evanston, Illinois. Bishop Owens has received numerous awards as well as many commendations and proclamations from the President of the United States, from senators, congressmen, governors, and mayors. Bishop Owens is a longtime and devoted friend of Temple Emanu-El. He's really family, and he's here to bring greetings from Meika, and for which he is a founding member and a past president.
Shalom. I'm having this cane because at my age, rheumatism is hitting me, and with this weather, I've stopped being pretty and started being a little bit more thoughtful. I've been a member of this congregation for 30 years. I was given membership here by Rabbi Landsberg, who was a dynamic orator and rabbi, a father in faith to me, as a young cleric coming back home to Metuchen. And he, along with two others, Walt Zelli and Bob Barringer, started the Metuchen Edison Interfaith Clergy. I was a junior partner in that effort. But when I came to Temple Emanu-El for the first time, well, let me first say that the first time that I met Rabbi Landsberg, can I share that with you? Was at a Martin Luther King service at our church. And I didn't know him that well, he didn't know me that well. But those of you who were around when Rabbi Landsberg was around, he was quite a character within himself. We sat him on the pulpit in our congregation, and he kept twisting in his seat and looking to the center of the pulpit where there's a large cross there. He kept looking, and I said, "Rabbi, is there a problem?" He said, "I'm a little nervous." I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, you hung one Jew on that cross. I hope you won't hang another one." That was Rabbi Landberg. But when I came to Temple Emanu-El, I felt the spirit of this congregation that still lingers even in this new building. This congregation, historically, at least in the 36 years of my experience, has been a welcoming congregation to every ethnic and every background of our community. When you come into this sanctuary or into this fellowship, Temple Emanu-El makes you feel like you're a part of the family if you've just visited for the first time. And that's what congregations should be. They should be welcoming those who have come to seek to worship God. I've been proud. I must say to you, sometimes when I tell people that I'm a member of this congregation, they look at me a little strange. But I'm proud to say that I've been a part of this congregation for these many years. You've had some glorious and wonderful rabbis that have followed Rabbi Landsberg that has kept the tradition of this congregation, the friendliness, the peace, the joy. And listen, in every congregation we have our difficulties, we have our differences, and yes, even as a Baptist, I know that when you get two people together, you have three opinions. But this is a culmination of what God has declared for Temple Emanu-El. This is the foundation of the faith of those who came before us that started this congregation many years ago. This is the fulfillment of what God is calling for this congregation to be, a witness in this part of his mortal vineyard, to let people know that when you're among God's people, you are always welcome. I thank God that in my 36 years back home in Metuchen, that my experience of joy is centered not only in my own church, but here at Temple Emanu-El, with the smiles, with the hugs, with the greetings. Some of the older congregation, as old as I am, we remember. But trust me, this is not by chance. This is by the divine will of God, and we need to give him praise for it. Will you put your hands together and praise the God that we all worship and give him a standing ovation? Will you stand with me and just give a hand clap? Thank you so much. Look what God can do.
Bishop Owens, you honor us with your presence always. Thank you. So we were homeless basically for the last 3.5 years. As those of us who are members of Temple Emanu-El well know. And there were several institutions that took us in and embraced us and gave us a home. Here at the JCC, the First Presbyterian Church of Metuchen, where we held our High Holy Day services and other large events, and at Congregation Neve Shalom, when the construction came to where we had our classrooms in the JCC and our offices, we had to vacate. And at that time, Neve took us in for every Friday night worship. The question of instruments was a little interesting, but that's been resolved, and it's a conversation for another time. So to bring greetings from those three homes that we hold so dear, we invite in turn, first Adam Glynn, the president and CEO of the JCC, and then Reverend Dr. Fred Gary from First Presbyterian Church of Metuchen, and then Rabbi Stephanie Gadan from Congregation Neve Shalom.
I am privileged to be here today to join our friends at Temple Emanu-El at this important moment, both in the history of and as part of the future of Temple Emanu-El, our shared Jewish community, and our shared place in this greater sacred community. On April 3, 2022, I stood before the community and I stated, "We welcome with open arms and open hearts our friends from Temple Emanu-El as together we chart a new future for the Jewish community and the larger Edison, Metuchen, and Middlesex County communities. While you have walked your Torahs here, we take this journey with you, and we are going to stay with you by your side going forward." I went on to say at that time, and unfortunately we continue, in a time of great challenges, locally, nationally, and globally, with the frightening rise of anti-Semitism, bigotry, and hate and violence in all its forms, this community and this communal campus, with this new collaboration, is a safe haven for all people of goodwill. We look forward to an exciting future together, to transforming the lives of all who enter our doors, and together we will be stewards of an extraordinary moment in this community. Well, today that journey begins anew. The Jewish Community Center of Middlesex County and this community campus welcomes you, Temple Emanu-El, and pledges to walk with you along this path, to walk as friends, as members of a shared Jewish community and a shared community of people of goodwill. The journey will not always be a straight path, and our work together will likely never be completed. But as it says in Pirkei Avot, "Lo alecha hamlecha ligmor, velo ata ven chorin livatel mimena." You are not obligated to finish the work, but neither are you at liberty to neglect it. We will continue our work together. We welcome the journey with you, and we say, both to you and with you, Hazak, Hazak, v'nitzazek. Be strong, and we together will be strengthened. Welcome, Temple Emanu-El.
So it was an honor to share a worship space. And I saw it as a great moment for our congregation to learn. And I was hoping to do a children's message with your, what do you call it, a mobile ark or a portable. And so I wanted to tell the children what it was, and there was Hebrew letters on it, so I wanted to make sure I knew what it said on the ark. And I walked over and I looked and went, oh, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet. Alphabet. And you know what was so funny was that it was just such a great moment to look to see this is the beginning of all word. The other learning experience that we had is I encouraged the members of our church to share in a study of the book of Genesis. But we wanted to do it in a unique way, and so we read the book of Genesis as if we were Babylonians. And the letter was given to us as a response to a question. Who are you, people of Judah? Where'd you come from? Who's your God? And as we read it, it was such a powerful way to hear the story. And two things leaped out immediately. One, someone was always going back to Ur. It was back and forth, and it was almost as if to say, well, we're people who have been here long before you, and so is our God. The second big insight that came to us was the oaks of Mamre. All of a sudden, we're reading this story through the lens of the place wherein Abraham buries Sarah, and generation after generation, and Jacob's last words are, make sure you bury me in the oaks of Mamre. And I know this is your promised land, but I believe here too, our prayer for you is that you find your oaks of Mamre, the place to keep your treasures, to keep the memories of those who've come before you, so that the lives of those to come will remember and treasure what you've done here and give thanks. So the Presbyterians wish you well, but we also hope that this is a place where your treasured memories are always kept.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rabbi Stephanie Gadan, and on behalf of the Neve Shalom community, it is my distinct privilege and honor to be here at this dedication of this sacred and quite beautiful space. So a synagogue is really built on two essential pillars, Torah and avodah, worship, prayer. And two stories, or two mitzvot in our Torah, really illuminate these foundations. First, we have the mitzvah of hakel, the obligation of every single individual, man, woman, and child, to assemble as a congregation, as a community, every 7 years to hear the Torah being read. And this command is striking when you think of our patriarchal society. Why are the women and children included at that time? And our sages teach us that Hakel makes clear that every person matters. And every individual, regardless of age, gender, and status, is part of this community. Part of the Kehillah. Hakel, Kehillah, it's connected. All are meant to stand together, to learn together, and to be counted. And for many years, though I admit I am quite new to the Neve Shalom community, I understand that Neve and Temple Emanu-El have been connected. We learn together, and we learn with each other, from each other. And even though we may pray in different spaces or follow different customs, we nevertheless come together as one community, united through our shared Jewish values. And the second foundational story concerns the construction of the Mishkan, the tabernacle. There, every person contributed according to their ability. Each brought what they could, offering the skills that they had, their resources, and most of all, their hearts, so that the community could create a shared, sacred space. This synagogue stands as a beautiful example of that same spirit. Each of you contributing, each of you building something meaningful for the whole community. And what an extraordinary job you have done. What remarkable dedication, collaboration, and vision have brought this sanctuary into being. So it's an honor and a privilege to be here to celebrate this momentous moment with you. And Mazel Tov to each and every one of you for constructing this sacred space, a home of prayer, of learning, and of community. Mazel Tov.
So you're sitting here in this magnificent sanctuary, surrounded by all kinds of symbols, but the people who really know are those who spent the last, how many years? Many years designing the details, making sure that it felt like home from past homes and new. And so to tell us all about what we're sitting in, surrounding ourselves with, we call on the members of the building committee, Dana Schechtman, Casey Horgan, Janet Suss, Michael Lieber, who was the chair, Joan Ellen, and Dr. Mark Rappaport, and then I will have a few words to share as well.
Thank you. Our religious school students call me Bob. I'm unsure why, but I do answer to it. Feel free to join them. I cannot begin to express how deeply moved I am to look out and see this sanctuary filled with so many beloved faces. I know everyone on the Bema feels the same profound emotion. For years, the building committee poured heart, time, and soul into imagining what our future home could be. How it might look, how it might sound, and most importantly, how it might feel when our community finally came together within its walls. Very early on, we created a logo to capture the dream we were working toward, a dove cradling a rainbow within it. Some of you might be wearing that logo on your lapels today. Today, as I stand here and take in the flock of doves soaring above us, the colors of our stained glass windows shining around us, I feel the fullness of what that symbol has become. The dove represents peace, love, and spiritual connection. It speaks to hope and to renewal. And the rainbow is our promise that everyone who walks through these doors is welcome exactly as they are. That every story, every journey, every identity has a place here. Diversity is not just something that we acknowledge, it's part of what makes us a sacred community. There's more to our logo than appears at first glance. If you really look, you might see a ner tamid, or a shin in the shape of the dove. The ner tamid, the eternal flame, guides us through the world with compassion and justice and purpose. Just as the light never goes out, our tradition teaches us to keep learning and seeking and growing. A shin on the mezuzah is understood to represent divine protection and the idea that God is watching over us. It marks the doorway as a place of holiness, compassion, and safety. We've used this logo for quite a while now, but seeing it here in our new home, surrounded by all of you, carries a meaning so much deeper than we could have imagined when we first created it. It feels alive now. We recently added a new tagline to accompany this logo, and Rabbi Axe will share more about that a little later. For now, I want to invite you to listen as our presidents, past and present, and my fellow members of the building committee bring us through more of the vision that guided us here.
Hi, everyone. The creation and design of our new sanctuary combines the remembrance and the envisioning of our future. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share the symbolism that is the backdrop of our beautiful worship space. The design of our new sanctuary began with an inspiration from our beloved James Street Sanctuary, one of the 3 inverted arc-style sanctuaries ever built in the United States. We took the original design concept and broadened our vision to weave in more of the story of Noah's Ark. Our new stained glass elements over there, which we're very proud of, pay tribute to our former windows while also serving as a reminder of God's covenant after the flood. When the rain ceased, God promised never to flood the earth again. He then put a rainbow over the clouds that was a promise that this would never happen again. The new wave pattern of the windows, designed by myself and Mike over there, have masterfully been executed by Joe Hechensky, our custom stained glass artist, symbolizes both waters that once covered the earth and the renewal that follows.
So in the biblical story, after the rain subsided, Noah released a raven that returned because it could found no place to rest. There was no earth on which for it to land. 7 days later, he sent out a dove, which came back with an olive leaf in its beak, proof that life had once again returned to the earth. After another 7 days, Noah released the dove once more, and this time it did not return. It had found its new home. Our flock of doves above you honors this moment of hope and renewal. It is one of only a few permanent installations of German artist Michael Pendrey's Los Colom, a global art exhibit that has appeared temporarily in sacred spaces such as the Washington National Cathedral, Mount Zion in Jerusalem, and the Salisbury Cathedral. For permanent installations such as ours, the doves are 3D printed. But for temporary ones, they are crafted from folded origami paper. So ours are very permanent. The result is a breathtaking sense of peace and motion as they hover gently overhead. Our ark, which stands behind me, also incorporates the olive leaf motif brought back by the dove. Beautifully detailed scrolling brass panels flank the doors, symbolizing life, renewal, and the enduring covenant between God and humankind. Jared Midorowski, the artist and woodworker who designed and built our Aron Kodesh, created a piece that perfectly reflects the character of our congregation. Constructed of warm, rich wood, it is a classic style ark that elegantly houses our 5 Torahs that you saw processed before. They're all visible whenever the doors are open, so we can appreciate all 5 of our Torah scrolls. Thank you.
the phrase "le dor va dor," from generation to generation, graces the top, a reminder that our community has thrived through generations and will continue to do so into the future. Our Ner Tamid, created by renowned artist David Klass, is another extraordinary element of this sanctuary. This lamp is a sister piece to an almost identical Ner Tamid in a small synagogue in Santa Clara, Cuba. It is also the final one that David will ever create. Every element, from the hand-blown glass to the brass chain and the fittings, was custom crafted. The result is both a work of art, it is simple, it is deeply spiritual. We are honored to display his final masterpiece from such a prolific and talented artist. While designing this sanctuary, our goal was to create a space that feels intimate, regardless of the number of people in it. Though the room may appear large, it is actually 20% smaller than our old building. The high ceilings and thoughtful spatial design create an illusion of grandeur while maintaining a sense of closeness. We enlarged and slightly lowered the bima, making it more accessible and creating a spacious area for our piano, choir, and other participants. The large windows open to the sky, the gentle movement of the doves above, and the clear sight lines to the ark all contribute to the sense of serenity and focus. We hope our congregants will grow comfortable sitting close to the bima. These front pews truly are the best seats in the house.
The overall layout of the building was designed with familiarity in mind. The transition from lobby to sanctuary to social hall, along with the placement of the kitchen, clergy offices, and moedon, echoes the flow of our James Street home. We wanted the space to inspire awe and warmth, yet feel immediately recognizable. If you knew your way around James Street, you'll feel right at home here on Oak Tree Road. We are deeply grateful to Melanie Tull, our designer from South Carolina, who guided us through every design decision, from carpeting and fabrics to finishes and paint colors. Her expertise helped bring our vision to life with beauty, cohesion, and grace. I'd like to give a shout out now to some very important people, Old Forge builders, and specifically Nick Pape, Tyler Parenti, and our site manager, Ed Fletcher. Are any of you here so that we can applaud you in person? Maybe not. Okay. And also to Guzzo and Guzzo, the architects, for envisioning this building and helping us to build this amazing space. We're very proud to have Mark Linder sponsor our new Tree of Life in celebration of Harriet's life. The previous tree had seen better days. All of the names from our earlier tree have been transcribed onto the boards that flank our new modern version. We now have new space for congregants to commemorate their own special occasions and celebrations. And now let's all give a round of applause to our building committee, Mike Lieber, Casey Horgan, Dana Sheckman, hold on, not done, Mark Linder, and Debbie Sager of blessed memory for their dedication, extremely hard work, and extraordinary vision that resulted in the beautiful and inspiring sanctuary in which we sit today.
I'm really honored to be the current president of Temple Emanu-El. These past presidents, everybody that's worked on here has worked tirelessly to create this sanctuary. So I want to thank them again. Now, you've heard today about the soul of Temple Emanu-El, but I want to talk about the heart of Temple Emanu-El. And what's the heart of Temple Emanu-El? Anybody realize what it is? Our music. Okay? Without this music, we wouldn't be Temple Emanu-El. So what happened 4 years ago? When we were moving out, Alex Parani said to me, we're going to need a new piano. Okay? So I gave him a task. Go find us a piano. And he searched the greater metropolitan area for what word am I going to use? An extraordinary piano, which, by the way, is 118 years old, which goes along with L'Ador Vador. I'm sure it's been a couple of generations, it's seen a couple of generations in its time, and I'm really hoping that it'll see many generations here at Temple Emanu-El. So we now have an extraordinary piano that is the heartbeat of our temple. Thank you.
So working together this past year with a marketing and branding expert to set goals, strategies for bringing the unique qualities of Temple Emanu-El to the attention of the greater community, we explored past congregational surveys as well as the one from spring of 2024, along with a new survey sent to a small sampling of members. There was a common thread throughout the survey findings. As a clear picture of who we are emerged, affirming what we've really always known. Temple Emanu-El is a warm, welcoming, compassionate, inclusive, accessible, caring congregation where everyone feels connected, invited in, cared for, and that they truly belong. The one word that came up again and again was welcoming. And we found ourselves feeling very close to our biblical ancestor Abraham, who was the embodiment of welcoming when he treated the three strangers walking towards his tent with warmth and honor and dignity, providing food and comfort without even knowing who they were or why they were approaching. This notion of welcoming the stranger, as exemplified by Abraham, is known as the Jewish value of hachnasat orchim, which literally means welcoming the guest or exceptional hospitality. This value of exceptional hospitality emerged as the essence of who we are. And while our old tagline, where diversity equals strength, certainly conveys our fundamental commitment to hachnasat orchim, we wanted to find a way to say even more about who we are as a Reform Jewish congregation. Our new tagline, where Jewish tradition meets modern spirit, conveys the very foundation of Reformed Jewish life and practice. As Reformed Jews, we are compelled to embrace our heritage while at the same time creating new ways to bring people closer to each other and closer to God. Where Jewish tradition meets modern spirit is our way of saying that Temple Emanu-El is unique in welcoming all who seek a sacred home with warmth and caring as we embrace a deep commitment to both the continuity of Jewish tradition and the always evolving modern spirit, where Jewish tradition meets modern spirit, L'Ador Vador, and I invite our Kol Keshet Kids Choir up once again. We are gifts. Ready? There you go. Big are profoundly honored to have Rabbi Rick Jacobs as our keynote speaker for this historic event in the history and the life of Temple Emanu-El. Rabbi Jacobs is president of the Union for Reform Judaism, the most powerful force in North American Jewish life. The ORJ leads the largest and most diverse Jewish movement in North America, reaching more than 2 million people through 825 congregations, 14 overnight camps, the Reform Teen Youth Movement, NIFTY, and the Religious Action Center in Washington, D.C. For more than 150 years, the URJ has been at the forefront in promoting an open, progressive Judaism. A long-time and devoted creative and change agent, Rabbi Jacobs spent 20 years as the visionary spiritual leader of Westchester Reform Temple in Scarsdale. Before that, during his tenure as the rabbi of the Brooklyn Heights Synagogue, he created the first homeless shelter in a New York City synagogue. Rabbi Jacobs is a tireless advocate for an Israel that is secure, democratic, and pluralistic, with a vibrant Reform Jewish community. A world-renowned leader and spokesperson, Rabbi Jacobs is also a lifelong learner, having studied for 2 decades at Jerusalem's Shalom Hartman Institute, where he is a senior rabbinic fellow. Rabbi Jacobs was listed as number 6 in the Daily Beast and Newsweek's list of America Top 50 Rabbis for 2013, and was 26th on the Jerusalem Post's 2012 list of the 50 most influential Jews in the world. He is regularly featured in media outlets such as the New York Times, the Washington Post, Haaretz, The Forward, NPR, and CNN, among so many others. A little-known fact, and I hope you don't mind my sharing this, is that Rabbi Jacobs considered a career in dance before he decided to dedicate his life to a religious and spiritual mission. In the 1980s, he was a dancer and choreographer with the Avodah Dance Ensemble. Working together with the founder, Joanne Tucker, they created midrash through movement on biblical and liturgical texts. I mention this because I was in awe of the concept and entranced by their performances and brought the Avodah Dance Ensemble to my congregation in Greenwich, Connecticut. In fact, I've known Rabbi Jacobs since the late 70s, when we were both students at Hebrew Union College, Jewish Institute of Religion. We met up again in the late 80s, serving in leadership roles for the Reform movement, and in 1988, we shared the joy of co-officiating at a wedding. Picture the two of us. Come stand next to me. Picture the two of us walking down the aisle to ascend the chuppah together. I consider Rabbi Jacobs a dear colleague and a friend, and I know that after today, you will all consider him a friend as well.
My teacher, Rabbi Jack Stern, said, "Don't be confused with height and stature." And I am thrilled to be here. What a spectacular moment. The songs, the music, the spirit, the coming together of an entire community, all of you. This is a moment to savor. It's a moment to celebrate. And I want to say about my friend, Rabbi Cantor Vicki Axe, as she described it, she's the real deal. She's wise, she's kind, and she's got a vision for Jewish life. And we are so grateful to you for what you've not only planted here, but you've planted in our movement. And we are better because of your leadership. So thank you. Give her a little love. So I actually can read minds. So I looked out just before I walked up here to give this little talk, and I could see every single person's thinking, you know what we need? We need another talk. We need someone else to get up and talk. And you're thinking, all right, I hope this Rabbi Jacobs, I don't know where he's from, but I hope he gets right to the point. And then we got a little celebration. We get to eat something. But I tell you what, it's worth dwelling for a moment on this moment, what it means and what it could be for us. So there's actually an ancient text. It's inspired by the Talmud, going back to antiquity. It's picked up in the medieval commentary, mystical commentary called the Zohar. And it says, unbelievably, it says that the ancient temple built itself. What? How is it possible that the ancient temple built itself? Did this new sanctuary build itself? Oh, no, it did not. It was built with all of your hard work, your imagination, your kindness, your generosity. That's actually how the ancient temple was built, and that's how this one was built as well. Now, if we think about building these sacred places, I know that it's certainly the case that change is exciting, and sometimes it's a little daunting. And, you know, I heard very beautifully that there's an echo in this building from the original synagogue, and so it's meant to feel familiar. At the same time, I think sometimes it takes a little while to really make the journey internally. My mom told me this story, I remembered it from my bar mitzvah. It was about 200 years ago. And my bar mitzvah was right before the high holidays, and the congregation was going through a major renovation. And finally it was all ready, and there we were in the high holidays, and people were kind of taking in the change. And I remember my mom looked at her friend who was standing in the front just gawking at this new bima, and she looked distraught. And my mom said, "What's the matter, Ella? What do you think of it?" She said, "I hate it." She said, "But Ella, you hated the old synagogue." She said, "I know, but I was getting used to it." Now, I tell you that story because I don't think it's possible, but there may be one or two Ella Braverman sitting here today. And here's what I want to say. For those it takes a little bit longer to really feel the joy, we'll just give you a little extra time. But this is a sacred home. It's a beautiful home, and it is filled with everything that you need, especially the heart, of course, is right. This is the heart got the music. But if it ain't got the people, we got nothing. We got a building. You got a spirit here that's really beautiful and powerful. So it turns out before World War II, what was the biggest movement in organized Jewish life in North America? Anybody take a guess? Which was the largest of all the movements before World War II? President got it right over here. President said the conservative movement was the largest. But it turns out after World War II, in the 50s and 60s, there was a growth within our movement. From 1973 to 1995, we went from being 400 congregations to being almost 900. That's just a little more than 20 years. It was an incredible surge of energy, and our movement grew. And you are part of that story, because founded in 1961, you're part of that post-World War boom within our reform movement. We're now, this is not a boast, it's just the demographic reality. Look at a Pew survey. We're the largest movement in Jewish life in North America. And that's something to just notice. It doesn't mean we're better. Right now it means we're larger, but we got to find always that spirit to animate who it is and what we are. Now, the reason I think we've become the largest is because we refuse to do something that a lot of religious groups in the history of humankind have done, which is to freeze the religion, to not let it change, not let it grow. Women, they can't be rabbis. Women, they can't be cantors. We can't actually change the flow of the service. Men and women can't, but they can. And our tradition has always been willing to change. And one of the most visionary leaders of our movement was Rabbi Alexander Schindler of blessed memory. He was my predecessor as the president of the Union for Reform Judaism, but we didn't always have the name URJ. We were called before that. This is extra credit. You get an extra sweet. UAHC, thank you, the Union of American Hebrew Congregations. It turns out that name didn't have Reform Judaism in its name, so we thought, let's make a name that's really going to be clear. Rabbi Schindler changed the course of Jewish life with courage. In 1978, he said, why does the Jewish community push away interfaith families? What is that about? He said, instead of keeping out and saying, stay away, why don't we bring interfaith families close? Turns out in the last 50, 60 years, that has been one of the places where we have grown, because we have been a home for not just a few, but for all. Now, I want to just tell you that it turns out Rabbi Schindler also said in 1974, why does the LGBTQ community not feel welcome? That's on us. So he admitted the first LGBTQ congregation, it was in Los Angeles, Beit Chaim Chadashim, and I just tell you, the world was not ready for that. Rabbi Schindler knew that sometimes as a leader, you got to just step out there and do the right thing. And today, well, today that is actually a given. Now, can I just tell you, this is just between us, but I'll just tell you the truth. Every single Reformed synagogue says on their website, we are warm and friendly. I've been to almost all of them, so I can just tell you one thing. Saying it on your website is not the same as doing it. Saying it on your website doesn't actually mean that when a person walks in, they're going to feel that love, that embrace, that welcome. But you, on your website, say it so clearly. You don't just say all are welcome. You actually specify the people who might not feel welcome. Can I just read you what you said? Because people pay attention. And I found this very powerful. You said, we welcome individuals of any race, sex, ethnic background, physical capability, sexual orientation, national origin, and marital status. We're proud to be considered a home for seniors, singles, young parents, children, interfaith families, and people of all walks of life, and covering the entire spectrum of religious observance. You name all the people who might not feel the warm welcome. And you say, this is who we are. Can I tell you, this is the reason we've grown. It's not just the accident of history. It's because we have a practice to reach out and to make sure that everyone who could be a part of our community feels that welcome. And you are leading the way. Can I just tell you that? I haven't been to all 827 of our congregations, but I'm up there. You have the most clearly articulated, and I pray that you will be a beacon of light and hope to all the different communities that are building themselves today. Can I just say right now, looking at the interfaith clergy on this bema, we're living in a moment in the United States and in the world where it feels like we're coming apart at the seams. It feels like we don't actually have the DNA to work together, to work across lines of faith and difference and class, all those different places. So we see that, and it's tearing our community and our world apart. But I come here today and I listen to the people who are not just here today. They've been here yesterday. They've been here. These are partners in the building of a better tomorrow. This is what faith was meant to be in America. And this is a counter-narrative to what we see all around us. And this should inspire all of us to say, we actually know how to do something other. We know how to build a better United States, a better world, a better faith community for God by just showing up for each other. It's a beautiful thing. Let's not take it for granted. Now, do you want to know the largest group in Jewish life today? It's actually not the Reform, it's not the Orthodox, it's not the Conservative, it's not the Reconstructing Judaism. It's actually the ones who are unconnected. By the way, unaffiliated makes it sound like it's their problem. I'd rather make it our obligation to figure out, right? But it's the people who are not connected. And guess what they're not connected to? They're not connected to JCCs. They're not connected to synagogues. They're not connected to camps, to federations. They're not connected. And we always think, why are they not connected? Do they not care about what we do? Do they not want to be a part of this? Well, it turns out there's not one reason, but a lot of times people who are not connected haven't felt the embrace. They also haven't necessarily thought that they need to be affiliated or connected to be living a life of Jewish substance. But I can tell you this, we can't walk away from literally probably over 2 million people who aren't connected. It would be immoral, it would be un-Jewish. It's not our plan. We want to actually open our doors. I know we got security here, we got to keep it. But let's spiritually open our doors because we want to bring people into the tent. As Rabbi spoke about the tent of Abraham, it wasn't open on one side, two sides. It was open on all sides. We've got a huge opportunity to grow our community. Now, if I say the word DEI in front of all of you, you're thinking, uh-oh. Didn't Rabbi Jacobs get the memo? We don't do DEI anymore. Because we're told in America's culture wars that DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, we don't want to do that. But guess what? It's not from the culture war. It actually goes back to the book of Genesis. It's the same book we're all reading. In the opening of Genesis, in the first chapter, it says God created not some of us, but all of us, but Tselem Elohim. Not all the Jewish people, but Tselem Elohim. Not all the people of faith. All people were created in the divine image. That's the heart of what DEI is. And my Latin isn't very good. I bet you my Christian colleagues probably do a little better with the Latin. But here's what I do know. The word for God in Latin is spelled DEI. I just think you want to spend a moment on that. Just saying. You can tell your friends, what did that guy Jacob say when he came? I know he was talking about Latin. Can you believe the rabbi's talking about Latin? It turns out it's our faith that makes us committed to building a more just and equitable world. And you're not going to stop doing that. We're not going to stop doing that. We're not going to stop doing that together. That's what it's all about. And talking about justice, we're also not people of faith to kind of just wait and hope things get better. Our job is with our own hands, l'taken olam b'malchut Shaddai, repair the brokenness in the world. Can you find any brokenness just around this neighborhood? Of course you can. You can find brokenness wherever you see your view is around a community. But our truth is we don't just feel bad about it, we get busy. And I remember I was a second-year rabbi out in the field, and we were stepping over homeless people in Brooklyn to get into our synagogue. And people were just used to like walking around these homeless people on the steps of our synagogue. I just said to someone, just think about, we're walking over homeless people to go into our house of prayer. Let's actually bring the homeless people into our house of prayer. And let's actually act upon the values that we are taught. So we do that, and we actually have the Religious Action Center in Washington, D.C. is one of the premier justice institutes in the United States. It's Reformed Jews from all over, all our 50 states. But we also have 9 states that have their own Religious Action Center. And guess what New Jersey is? One of those 9. And we're very proud. In fact, I talked to Sarah Blaine this week, who leads RAC New Jersey. I said, Sarah, is there room to have like a really spirited congregation from Edison be part of RAC New Jersey? She said, are you going to Temple Emanu-El in Edison? I said, I am. She said, well, tell them we would love to feel your strength. So all the strength that you have, you want to bring it to care for one another, for your prayer, for your study. Let's also make New Jersey a place that lives its justice commitments. And we'd love to have you be part of that. That's part of what it means to be a faithful person. It is, of course, to do God's work in all the holy ways we do it inside the walls. But guess what? The most work we have is outside the walls, and that's where all of us will have to get busy. I just have to finish with 2 thoughts. One is this anti-Semitism that we're looking at. It's not a little. It's a lot. And it's not on one side of the political spectrum. Do you know for the last 5 years we've had the ridiculous debate, where is it worse? I would go everywhere and people would say, you know, it's worse on the left. I said, no, it's worse on the right. Can we end that? It's bad. It's bad wherever it is. And I was this summer with a group of our nifty teens in Eastern Europe. We were in Budapest. It was Shabbat morning. The Torah portion talked about fear. and how fear can eat away at us. So I asked these teens, they're all 16-year-olds, I said, how many of you have personally experienced anti-Semitism in the last year? 100 teens in the room. I'm telling you, more than half immediately put their hands up. They said, keep your hands up. I want to actually know what you're referring to. So I went around. I said, please tell me specifically what happened that made you raise your hand. And one student said, I play sports. And on the sports field, I hear it, I feel it, I know it. Another one said, in class, I've had teachers, I've had other students call me out. Others said, I work an after-school job. I feel it in our community. These are 16-year-olds, and they're not from New York, New Jersey. They're from everywhere. They're from the Midwest, the South. They're from the North. They're from everywhere. And they all told stories. And honestly, we know that this is a real thing. Well, we've been working with the United States government to provide more security assistance for our houses of worship. But guess what? We've got cameras. We've got security personnel. It doesn't ultimately make us as safe as we need to be. So at Temple Beth Or in Chicago, Rabbi Ari Margolis walked out one day, saw this hate graffiti in his synagogue. And what did he do? He called up all of his faith partners, called them all up and said, what are you doing this Saturday? Come to the temple. He assembled this faith collage of love from the whole area. The imam, the priests, the ministers, the Buddhist priests, every one of the faith leaders came together and they said, not in our community. This does not belong here. We will stand together. Friends, we need the cameras. We need the security guards. But we need each other. Our safety is in our security. It is our security in our safety. This is how we will build not just a little moment to get respite from the hate, but we will also be able to make sure that our communities will be places that everyone will feel safe. You know the story. It's not just here. We were just 2 weeks ago in New York City at Park East Synagogue. So Park East Synagogue had an event. It was a weekday night. It was sponsored by Nefesh B'Nefesh. These are people who are thinking about moving to Israel. And there was such hatred outside that synagogue. As they tried to walk in, there was literally no room, and they were shouted at, and they were called out, they were intimidated. And they said, you should be scared. Walking into a synagogue in 2025 in the United States. Not here. Not here. We've got a new piece of legislation that's already making its way through the New York Assembly. It says if you are going to protest outside any house of worship, whatever it might be, 25 feet from the entrance so that you can't prevent people from walking in. We actually have that statute already on the books, but it's for health clinics. Remember people trying to access abortion, reproductive rights? That's been this really important protection for women who are walking in, that they not have to pass through this, hate-filled area. Well, we're adding that in New York, and guess what? New Jersey needs it too. And did you see what happened at Wilshire Boulevard Temple out in Los Angeles? They need it as well. We've got to actually think and make sure that we have the right ways to respond. But friends, there's a lot of hate for not just Jews, but for Israel. We are the largest Zionist organization in North America. I'm proud of that. And when Sarah Milgram and Yaron Lashinsky walked out of the Capitol Museum in Washington, D.C., do you know what the man who murdered them, you know what he cried out? 2 words, Free Palestine. And then a few months later in Boulder, Colorado, protest for the hostages. What was the man who attacked them, killing one, including harming a 84-year-old Holocaust survivor? What did he cry out? Free Palestine. Well, guess what? Killing Jews in our communities is not freeing Palestine. And Palestine should be free of Hamas's hate and violence. And we've got work to do. But I have to say that we, as a liberal Jewish community, as a liberal Zionist community, we're showing up. Did anybody vote in the World Zionist Congress elections? Anybody put your hand up proudly, because I figured you got some customers here. We had the Congress a couple of weeks ago in Jerusalem. We were the largest slate and the largest group of mandates. So we showed up with a lot of strength about what we were there to do. And turns out there was a pretty hard response to our strength, and the very far extremist community within the Zionist movement showed up as well. But our voices were the loudest. They were also the most loving. And we were able to, and the headline is, we were able to accomplish more positions of authority, more ability to make policy decisions about how billions of dollars would be spent building up the diversity of our beloved Jewish state, building up the liberal Jewish community as well. And that story is only because of people like you who voted. So thank you for standing up and for being counted. We have some more work to do, but we will do it together. And what happens in Israel doesn't stay in Israel. There is a deep sense of commonality between our world Jewish community and our community in the land of Israel. We've got work to do, and we will do it. Let me just conclude by saying that this Temple Emanu-El, it's a beautiful new building. You worked hard. You should enjoy it. But let me just say, looking back on that beautiful teaching from Exodus that a few of us have mentioned, the tabernacle wasn't the only thing built in the book of Exodus. Our ancestors were busy building a couple of other things. They built pyramids because they had no choice. They built a golden calf for their selfish yearnings. But then they built something different than anything else that has been built. They built this praying place, this mishkan, this tabernacle. And we're told that they built it differently than anything that they had made. That every single person brought nidivat hatov belibo. Every person brought something from the goodness of their heart, a skill. They brought something of substance that was a material used in the building. And then once it had been built and was all finished, something miraculous happened. The presence of God came to dwell in that sacred place. My prayer for Temple Emanu-El is that the Holy One will dwell among you and within you. With the sound of the singing, the sound of the prayers, the sound of a community caring for one another, the sound of a cry for justice and equity in the world, all those will give the Holy One a sense of deep confidence that this is one of the places where God's holiness will dwell. So I ask you to savor this day, to appreciate each other, and appreciate that your community matters, not just in the Reform movement, not just here in North America. This is a place that will be a beacon of light and hope for our people and for God's family everywhere. Mazel Tov, Temple Emanu-El.
Take my text from your book. From your binder. Thank you. Oh, I don't have a paper. Ooh, that's interesting. Here you go. So there's nothing more I can say except to share some very profound thank yous. I want to start with our Temple Emanu-El staff, Dana Schechtman, our executive director and religious school director, Ellen Hockman, where are you? Our communications coordinator, and Alex Millard. Everybody turn around. We call her our facilities manager. There are no words that describe what Alex does for and with us. Next, I want to thank the collaboration committee that worked in hand from Temple Emanu-El Collaboration Committee with those representatives from the JCC to work through the joys of building this new building and some of the challenges. So on that collaboration committee, and if you'd stand in your place if you're here, I know Mark Linder is here, chaired our Temple Emanu-El group. Marv Apsel is streaming in from Florida. Alfie Bernstein. Casey Horgan. And Janet Suss. Then, of course, we have the building committee with Michael Lieber, chair, who's there. Casey Horgan. Mark Linder once again. Dana Schechtman. And our beloved Debbie Sager of blessed memory. My next thank you goes to the celebration committee. And this is one of many celebrations that we are enjoying this year with Joan Ellen Chair, Sarah Harnick, Mike Lieber. We keep you all very busy. Sherry Lilienfeld, Mark Linder once again. Somehow in between all these tasks as all these things and treasurer, he had time to do hip replacement surgery, so that's why he's sitting in the congregation and not with us on the bima. Mark Rappaport, Dana, and I have the privilege, of course, of working with all these wonderful, wonderful people. Then we have our Shir Emanu-El choir. Would you stand and let us thank you? And I would invite our kids to come back on the bima again because we're going to sing Grateful in just a moment. And this is our Cole Keshet Kids Choir. Voice of the Rainbow. Come on, Jack. And for all our choirs, of course, we have Alex Paradny. And Rochelle Goldstein, our vice president and singer, musician, and you heard also violinist. We want to thank those of you, if you're in high school, Jacob, are you the only one who actually ended up showing up? Oh, yay. Good, 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 good. So I'm going to have a task for you, Audrey and Asher, in a moment. And think Ve'ahavta, just tuck that in your little heads, your big heads. And our reception committee, our dessert reception committee, under the leadership of Rita Solzman and Lee Levy. So I think your applause will be even bigger after you enjoy the dessert reception. So with all these thank yous, could you get me back to where I was again? I hit it too many times. This is my son, Dan. He set me up with my confidence monitor. I need a little more confidence. Go back. There. Perfect. Thank you. So for all that the names we just shared, and for this moment, we are extraordinarily grateful.
Each day I live, my God, for each day I live. I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live.
Everybody.
For each day I live, my God, for each day I live. I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live. I am grateful for your glory. I am lifted by your love. Grateful, grateful, grateful each day I live. Grateful, grateful, grateful each day I live. For each day I live, my God, for each day I live, grateful, I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live. Each day I live, my God, for each day I live, grateful, I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live. I am gifted by your glory. I am gifted by your love. Grateful, grateful, grateful each day I live. Grateful, grateful, grateful each day I live.
Our sanctuary is not complete until we put a mezuzah on the door. So I'm inviting the members of our building committee to take the two mezuzot, which I have here, and which you can see here. It's very beautiful. One for the door to the sanctuary, one for the door to the social hall. And so our building committee, Michael Lieber, Casey Horgan, Mark Linder, Debbie Sager is with us in spirit, and Dana Schechtman will be going to the back to, to affix the mezuzah. I want to go back one. Yes, to affix the mezuzot to the two doors. We won't be able to see them, but we can say together the blessing for Chanukat Habayit, dedication of our house, our home. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tivanu likboa mezuzah. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who has sanctified us with commandments and commanded us to affix the mezuzah. Please. Here's what it looks like. And I would invite Jacob and Asher and Audrey, and I don't know if this will happen because I didn't think of it until I was sitting here, because she also knows the Ve'ahavta. Oop. I wonder if you would come up and help us lead the Ve'ahavta, since you know it so well. This is my granddaughter, Jillian. We've been studying together in anticipation of her becoming a bat mitzvah 2 years from now. She just turned 11. Yeah. Oh, aren't you clever? So, first we do the Shema. Together we can chant it. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. And the Ve'ahavta. And I'm leaving it to you. Pick her key, because she sings very high. Go ahead. Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levacha, u'kol nafshecha, u'kol me'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta b'ham, v'shitecha v'techa, u'leftecha v'derech, u'shapecha u'kurecha, u'kshatarot ayadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'einecha, u'ktata al mezuzot beitecha, u'tisharecha, le'man tizkaru v'asitem etom mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim v'lehem. Ani Adonai Elohim, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lahem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohim, Adonai Elohim. So I now invite our president, who has gifted us, you may be seated, with this beautiful prayer that he found in our gates, in our prayer book. And it will be on a plaque. It's being made as we speak. It will be on a plaque outside the sanctuary door so that we can feel it, think of it, embrace these words. And we invite you now to lead us in this prayer.
Yes, please join me in this prayer. If you can see it. May the door of the synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of the synagogue, pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May
Its threshold be no stumbling block to younger or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
As we say together, Amen.
Amen.
I invite us all to rise as we sing together. Please embrace one another, hold one another close. Shehechianu. Amen, amen, mazel tov. I know it's early. Alex? Where's Alex? Oh.
This is something. Excuse me, sir, you're in the photo.
It's very powerful.